Assalamualaikum Warahmatullahi Wabarakatuh. Hello my class, welcome back to my video. My name is Awaliyah Karuniah Rahmah. On this occasion, I'll show you how to correct very common problems made in English grammar. And those are to do with adjectives and comparatives. Well, now, what are adjectives? Adjectives are the words that we use to describe a noun or a pronoun. What is a noun? A noun is usually a person, a place, or a thing. Okay? And adjectives are words like this, for example, big or small, big box or small box, happy or sad, a happy even, a sad even, fast or slow, a fast car or a slow car, right? In all these cases, all these words are adjectives. And there are some very common problems that occur when people of different language background use adjectives in English. Because in English, adjectives behave differently than the adjectives in that language. So, let's see what these mistakes are and how to correct them. Here we go. The first problems that sometimes happen when we are using adjectives in the order, position adjectives and adverbs correctly. The order of the adjectives in the sentence, for example, I read a book new. So, what was wrong here? The order, the placement of the adjectives. So, in English, we never say I read a book new. We say I read a new book. In all of these cases, new was the adjectives, and all of these adjectives in English have to come before the noun and not after, with the adjectives, generally speaking, before the noun. In TOEFL exercise, for example, the lawyer has selected carefully a new case. It's incorrect. The correct is the lawyer has carefully selected a new case. Next, another problem that sometimes happens, use basic adjectives and adverbs correctly. Sometimes in the written expression section of the TOEFL test, adjectives are used in place of adverbs, or adverbs are used in place of adjectives. Adjectives and adverbs have very different use. Adjectives have only one job. They describe nouns or pronouns. The following are examples of incorrect sentence, or they might appear on the TOEFL test is: they were seated at a library table. The child talked quick to her mother. We read an extreme long story. All the sentences are incorrect. In the first example, the adverb gladly is incorrect because the adjective large is needed to describe the noun table. In the second example, the adjective quick is incorrect because the adverb quickly is needed to describe the verb talking. And in the last example, the adjective extreme is incorrect because the adverb extremely is needed to describe the adjective long. The third problem of adjective is with agreement. What does that mean? Let's look at the example. The mistake is, those boards are very big. So here, the person tried to make the adjective match the word boards. But in English, We don't need to do that. In English, the adjective doesn't change. For example, those birds are very big. So in this sentence, even though we're talking about many birds, we don't have to make it plural. It also in English, it doesn't have to agree in terms of singular and plural. It also doesn't have to agree in terms of gender, female or female. Okay? In English, things doesn't have any gender. Chairs, table, book, it is not. So you don't have to match it in that way. It doesn't matter. The adjective stays the same. Okay? So, that's another point to keep in mind. Enter the next topic. Problems with comparatives and superlatives. The first problem is form comparatives and superlatives correctly. The problem with some of the comparative and superlative sentence on TOEFL test is that the comparative or superlative is formed incorrectly. You should therefore understand how to form the comparative and superlative to answer such questions correctly. When do adjectives change? When we use them to compare something, the comparative is formed with either ear or more and than. In the comparatives, ear is used with short adjectives such as tall, and more is used with longer adjectives such as beautiful. So, for example, this is a mistake. This house is more big than that one. Instructor, that's not the rule that we follow for all adjectives. What it should be is, this house is bigger than that one. In another sentence, the test was harder. So, how you don't know when to stay at the ear or when to say more? Well, again, very quickly, the rule is something like this. If your adjective, the original words, the adjective like this is a very short one with one syllable, like big, then when we want to make it comparative, we just add ear or sometimes we double the letter. But the sound is basically big, bigger, hot, hotter, cold, colder. Got it? Now, if the original adjective is one or two syllables but ends with y, for example, easy or boozy, two syllables ending with y, then we cancel the y and we add ear. So easy, easier. The test is easy. The test was easier. And if the original adjective is two or more syllables, no y or anything like that, then we have to use the word more before that to make it comparative. For example, Sally is more beautiful than Sharon. So that's the basic rule. The second point of comparative is we use comparative and superlative correctly. Another problem with the comparative and superlatives on the TOEFL test is that they can be used incorrectly. The comparatives and superlative have different use, and you should understand there's different use too. You should understand this different use to answer such question correctly. The comparatives is used to compare two equal things. For example, the history class is larger than the math class. Mary is more intelligent than Sue. That is. In the first example, The history class is being compared with the math class. In the second example, Mary is being compared with Sue. Now, let's practice this and if you can master them right now, okay? Pause this video for you to practice and continue to know the answer. Let's do. 1. By the beginning of the 1980s, 15 states had adopted already no fault. So, this sentence also made a mistake. Can you correct it? Yes, it should be already adopted. So, what's wrong here? Here, the position of adjectives was wrong. Okay, so say this one after me. By the beginning of the 1980s, 15 states had already adopted no fault. 2. She was more happier this morning than she had been yesterday. It's wrong because words should be removed. Happier is short adjectives and already formed comparative. So it should be she was happier this morning than she had been yesterday. 3. Mark always does his homework careful. It's incorrect because careful must be carefully. The adjective careful is incorrect because the adverb carefully is needed to describe the verb does. 4. Many different shirts are on Plaza sale. That's wrong. It should be many different shirts are on Plaza sale. 5. The first journal article is the longest of the second article. The sentence above must be changed into a comparative sentence. So, the longest of should be longer than. Okay, maybe that's all from me. I apologize for my mistake. Happy to learn together with you all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.